thinking enough. At some point, it ought to dawn on you that you are blessed. You're so blessed, you're spoiled. I'll tell you one reason why you're spoiled. You suck it up there, that ain't yours. And you just take it for granted that it's going to be there when you suck it up. No, it ain't yours. That's blessed. Shout me. I came with this. I came with it. I ain't waiting on y'all. Y'all take too long. You're too slow. You need too much pride up. But I entered into his gates with thanksgiving. I came with a praise. I got to get this holler out. Put up with me. You can join it if you want to. You sit there and look at me like I'm crazy. But God been good to me. I know what I not could be. I know what I should be. That was some folks doing the same stuff. I ain't talking about, like, matter of fact, if the truth be told, I was doing the worse than they were. But God. Hey, that's why I gotta praise. I gotta get out. I gotta get praise. I can't keep. I kill myself trying to hold this stuff in. I explode. But what they say, implode. I'll explode from the inside out. Because he's been good. Anybody, is it me? See, when you about to shout me with David. When David came out there with just turning, cutting the road and cold came up. You thought you saw something, Michael. I'll be more undignified than this. I'm trying, what he's getting at is, I'm trying to produce and exhort a praise that's due him. Right? My praise is an indication of who he is. I'm trying to help, trying to communicate this while you're looking at me like I'm crazy. Just bear with me. I'll let you go. You just got to get this stuff out. He's been good. No, everything ain't all right. No, everything. All the dots, all the I's ain't dotted, all the T's ain't, but he's been good. I hope one day I ain't gonna give up on me. God didn't give up on me. Amen. But did I say it was good? Did I say that I was He good? Did I say he good? He told me to say. Amen. It's good to be here. Guess we are excited again that you're here joining us. We don't take it for granted that you're here. We do not take it for granted. We're excited that you're here. We pray again that you get God. That's it. One agenda. Some shape, form, or fashion. We're not trying to box God in. However you want to do it. If he does it in a thunderous praise, that's fine. If he does it in a small, still voice, that's fine too. If it's just a conviction in your heart, some feeling, some unction, however you do it, we just want to create an atmosphere that's conducive to him speaking, moving, converting, convicting, changing, rearranging something. You ought to expect something, right? When we come here, that there should be some type of expectancy. That's what I'm about. God too big for me not to come into his presence and get nothing. illogical. It doesn't even make sense to me. God, the one that was, is, and is to come. Kingdom never ends. All power, all knowing. I come into his presence and I leave just like I came. That's me. I'm trying to go on. I'm trying to go on. But it's just me. I'm telling you. All right. First Peter chapter 1. We're going to read, skip the verse 6 through 9. Verses 6 through 9. Not even 5 exit ramps throughout this little passage. I can't seem to exhaust it. It's so good. Reading from the Message version. We got it at 50 font up here for our visually challenged folk. Amen. Amen. 1 Peter chapter 1. Beginning verse 6, verse 9, through verse 9. There you find these words. I know how great this makes you feel, even though you have to put up with every kind of aggravation in the meantime. Pure gold put in the fire comes out of it proved pure. Genuine faith put through this suffering comes out proved genuine. When Jesus wraps this all up, it's not your faith, not your gold that God will have on display as evidence of his victory. When Jesus wraps this all up, it's your faith, not your gold, that God will have on display as evidence of his victory. You never saw him, yet you love him. Still don't see him, yet you trust him with laughter and singing because you kept on believing. You'll get what you're looking forward to, total salvation. And all God's people say it. Amen. So much people. Rebuilding your life the right way in the new year, part 4. Amen. Good stuff. Hey, ready for the word? We got some hungry folk. I see, look at you preaching. I love it. That's right. We ought to be hungry. We ought to be thirsty for his word. Amen. Amen. The city of Memphis has become known nationwide as a city and a local government that has found a really awesome way of renovating and repurposing buildings. Instead of just going and building out more, they said, well, hold what you got. Let's just see if we can salvage what has been laid dormant for a while. And let's see if we can repurpose it, use it for something else. It was used for something else in the past. Preach Dotson. But now we're looking to see if we can instead of just tearing it down, that there may be some use, some worth. And so they have done that. One building in particular, the Crosstown Concourse, sat vacant for years. The old Sears catalog and factory. It was standing there for years vacant, and now it's become an urban village. Peabody Place, yet another place that sat vacant for a while. It once was a thriving mall with a movie theater, then it sat vacant, and then now Service Master is there. So there are some interesting things that Memphis is doing in the area of renovating and repurposing. But before they even start this process of renovating and repurposing, they have to do some assessment of the building. They have to do some tests and some proofs to make sure that what they are renovating, what they are repurposing, is going to be able to withstand the improvements. Not talking to anybody. And so they do this, and so once they go through the tests and prove, they will find out, if, number one, if it's able to meet or be brought up to building code. Sometimes it's too expensive to bring it up to code, so they will decide to just kind of gut it or even tear it all down and build something new. Or if it happens to meet building code, or it can meet building code, if the foundation is strong enough, then it will be able to withstand whatever, and this is key, whatever the city or the developer has in mind to build. You know, so the developer and the whoever's making the decision, whoever's going to occupy the space, has to have in mind what they want, and they have to be able to be sure that what they're building on, after it goes through the test, is able to withstand the improvements. And so as we look at this passage here, we're not too far from the text. Peter is interested in the life of the believers that he's talking to. He's interested not in just their present state, but he's interested in their long-term Christian walk. And Peter wants to make sure that they understand that the stuff that they're going through, it's an assessment. It's not just something that you're going through just to be going through. It's an assessment to test and to prove, so that when their testing is done, then all of a sudden now we can see that something can be brought into fruition. Something in the divine developer's mind that can be brought into fruition, that can end up making that body, that temple, that space, that building, something that the developer has in mind. Am I talking to anybody? Does that make sense? And so let's walk through this text. He makes a kind of a hard 90 right about verse 6 here, what we just read. He got through talking about, we talked about it last week, right? Reminding the believers that are scattered throughout the Roman Empire, being persecuted like you've never heard or imagined in your life. They've seen some atrocious things. They've been through some crazy stuff. Peter is writing under the rule of Emperor Nero, which is one of the most heinous, evil emperors ever. He burned down Rome and blamed the Christians. And he was so foul, he would light Christians, burn them alive, and use them as lights to light his guard. This is how foul this person was. He would have games in the Roman Colosseum where he would throw them out and coated in blood for ravenous beasts, lions, and what have you, to just tear them from limb to limb. This is who they're writing. This is when Peter makes this hard 90 in verse 6 and said, look, I know you're excited about all the stuff that you've had and you've experienced, this inheritance that you got, this salvation that you got, and I know you greatly rejoice, even though now you got to deal with some stuff. You got to process some stuff. And Peter wants to frame that and package that in such that they don't just think this is just something you're going through just to be going through. Am I talking to anybody? Because some of you are in some states, you're in some circumstances where you're looking up like God, and God, what's the purpose of this? Why they gotta do this? Why they gotta go there? Why did they have to say that? Why didn't they come through? They let me down when I really was counting on them. And Peter is saying, hold what you got before you just throw it out, before you are so in a rush to get out of this stuff. Let me tell you why you're in it in the first place. Good stuff. So let's just walk through this and let's see if we can hopefully find some hope in what we're going through. Right? And somehow process it. That's the biggest thing, right? Processing this the way believers ought to process it. Right? So let's just, before we jump too far, so he's saying this greatly rejoicing. He says, look, you all are greatly rejoicing. Now we can look at this a couple of ways. This, scholars are divided on how they look at this. They say it in the one sense that it's greatly rejoicing. This literally means leaping for joy. And he's saying, you could look at it in light of the previous verses, in light of being kept by the power of God, this inheritance that I have, this salvation that I have, I'm greatly rejoicing. Or you can look at it in the sense of what's coming, that in the stuff that you're going in, you're finding a way to rejoice. Now, did you recall what I just said about what they were going through? Peter knows very clearly what they're going through. He says, in this, in that you're greatly rejoicing. Jesus, Matthew 5:12, he kind of had the same idea. He said, look, when they persecute you and they speak evil, and you rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. It could go either way, but at the end of the day, they rejoiced, whether it was because of the salvation or even while they were going through. At the end of the day, they found a way to rejoice. Good stuff? And it says, for a little while. Now, anybody ever got a real woman? I need to kind of clarify this. I'm talking about the kind where you had to go pick your own sketch. And you better not come back with no little scrawny little sketch. Not only one switch, but every now and then mama would get took and like, how you even got a rubber band and you twist it and somehow they stay together. Now when you are in the moment, and I know I've got some vivid memories. You can see that little small frame, Mrs. Dodson, but she knew how, I'm telling you, it was an art and a science. She knew the exact distance to stay away, because she wouldn't let me get too close. Every time I get close, she stepped it back. And she just, that thing would wrap around. Jesus. I still got trauma. But in the midst of that, it seemed like it lasted. I mean, like, mama, for real, can we just talk about this? And it just would last. I mean, I'm talking, wouldn't have been probably no more than a minute, 30 seconds. It felt like 2 hours. And Peter is trying to, in a real sense, trying to frame this mindset that, look, and in the words of Paul, your light affliction, which is but for a moment, working for you a more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Paul goes on to say, look, and in Romans he says, look, what you're going through and the present sufferings can't really be compared to what's in store for us. For Paul says, if we suffer with him, we shall reign with him. Right? So he's framing. You see the process that he's going through. Look, I know it seems like forever, but trust me, it's just a little while. Come on, community. I know you're going through it. Trust me, it's hard. We're linear beings. We don't really we can't comprehend eternity, but I promise you, the stuff that you're going through, when you get into eternity, it don't even show up on the timeline. Does that make sense? Yeah. Your little 3 score and 10 that you might get won't even show up. Even if you happen to go through hell from birth to death, when you get there, light affliction. That makes sense? Okay, so for a little while. Then he says this, you're grieving. I'm preaching from the New King James Version of the Bible. He says, so you've been through this stuff, you got these trials that are going on for a little while, and you're grieved. King James talks about it being heaviness. Everybody, when you've been through something so long, it just feels like weight. Am I talking to anybody? Well, you literally, I mean, I'm not talking so much figuratively now. I'm talking about literally, like you feel like you just really can't even really hardly walk. You really feel that thing messes with you physically in such a way that, like, dang, I just really find it hard to lift up one leg and put the other one down. Does that make sense? That's when you know that you're grieving, you're heavy, you're weighted with this thing. I like the way the original puts it, and it carries the meaning of being thrown into sorrow. Now let's contrast it with you running into sorrow. Because some of us don't just backslide, we back run, we back sprint. You just watch. You not only have you fallen and you can't get up, you just when it says thrown into sorrow, it's the idea that, man, I didn't know where this came from. I don't know, this is blind. It ever been blindsided? I mean, nothing of your doing. Now, you didn't manufacture this. I ain't saying you were a saint or an angel, but you know you were trying to do things the right way and just blindsided. And you're thrown into depression. You're thrown into despair. You're thrown into, you didn't want to be here. You didn't desire to be here, but because of life, just thrown into it. And don't give me this messed up Christians too blessed to be depressed. Get out of my face. I said that nicely. That was the pastor version. Get out of my face. Oh, yes, we get depressed. Yes. Hell breaks through. Yeah, I don't want to hear a verse right now. I don't want to hear. Just shut up, pray for me, be here. Let me be a shoulder for me to cry on, but don't be trying. It's going to get better. Well, it ain't better now. And so, the way this is written in the original, scholars believe that Peter was writing this in such a way that he knew explicitly the trials that they were going through. It's interesting the way the language is written. He said, it seems to suggest that Peter ain't just saying, look, I know you're grieved and you're heavy because of the trials that you're going through. Peter, it seems, identified. It's almost like, look, I hear what you're saying, but I also feel what you're saying. I'm not just having compassion, I'm empathizing. Does that make sense? So it's one thing to have somebody come alongside you and encourage you, and they ain't been doing nothing. They mean well. They mean well. Bless their little heart. They mean well. Hey, I'm calling to check on you. Hang in there, stay encouraged. And I ain't nothing wrong with it. Keep doing it. You hear me? But I tell you, when somebody come along and say, hey, I see what you're going through. I've been there. Put down the peels. Don't pick up the gun. I'm not talking to anybody. Don't do it. Put it down. That's the folk I want to hear from. I know you got them, but you done lost your mind. Come on back. You can come back because I've been there. Come on, Peter. Hold me. He says, and then he tries to describe these various trials. We've heard this many times in other parts of Scripture, right? James 1 and 2. Count it all joy. You fall into divers to this, you doggone right, it's crazy. Count it all joy. Count it what? What kind of believer are you, James? Count it all joy. Most, majority, 51%, And so Peter likens this, right? Various trials. And again, as we see in this text as it unfolds, it's not about stuff going through just to be going through. Peter says, look, in a real sense, I think what he's getting at is, not only have I identified what you're going through, and I've been there, but I done came out that day. And I see now, I'm looking back. I'm looking back over what God done brought me. And I know now what I didn't know then. It was a test. It was an assessment. He needed to know. He needed to reveal to me if I was worthy to be built upon. If I had enough structure that he could repurpose and renovate. And so he likens it to a test. When one looks, when you talk about this test and approval, right? When one looks at this and looks at the result, when it's all said and done, one can look at it and form a judgment of whether they passed or failed.
Yeah.
That's when you know you've been through a test. When you went through it and somebody can look back and say, oh, okay. Oh, they passed that one. You come through on that one. Preach, Dotson. Now the other part to this, and this, okay, so this is the deal. And this guy came over because he was like, look, some kind of way in the language, it almost suggested when you're being tested, that after you get through the test, there's some verification that you've been through it because you still have remnants of what you went through. Kind of like scar tissue. You know when folk that had surgery. They got some scar tissue. And as you know, they're not in the life. Paul speaks of this in the Galatians. Folk hating on Judaizers, chasing them everywhere. He says, at the end of the day, leave me alone. I bear the marks of Christ. Paul meant physically. Paul had been whipped, the cat of nine tails, several times. And says, look at my back. Now leave me alone. Quit all that small talk. Talking behind my, quit all that mess. I've been through some stuff and I got the scars to fix. Scar tissue. How many folk got some scar tissue? Don't be ashamed. Some of us, we done made it through, and we never become ashamed of our scars. Like God didn't give you a memory. Isn't it amazing? How God, when He saves us, He still gives us a vivid idea of what we've been through, and who we were, and who we still struggle with. He doesn't wipe the memory. He doesn't do a format C code. Where my IT folks? He doesn't do a reset. The whole what you got. I want you to keep in good memory who you were and who you are now. Okay. I got to go. Okay, so all of this, I got to get the exit round. Genuineness of your faith. It's all this done, this test, this proof, this assessment to see whether you can be renovated or repurposed, all that good stuff. This is all this so that the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, Lord is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory of the revelation of Jesus Christ. So he said the genuineness, this all is done so that the genuineness of your faith will ultimately be proven, right? Good stuff? And so, it's not what the devil purposed, even though the devil did have a purpose. Are you listening to me? So what you're going through, don't get it twisted. The devil is in those details. He is forming up. He come to what? Kill, steal, and destroy. So all the hell that you're going through, the devil initially, this is an initial assessment. The devil meant it for evil. But God took what the devil was doing, repurposed it into an assessment, repackaged it, reframed it. And so I see what the devil, matter of fact, not only did I see what the devil did, I gave him permission to do it. I gave him permission to do this. And he meant it for evil, but I turned it around. Hallelujah. And used it to prove the genuineness, the authenticity of your faith. Am I talking to anybody? God, all this good stuff. More precious than gold that perishes, though tried by fire. So Peter makes an assumption. Peter says, look, if you got real faith, it's more precious than gold. Even though gold perishes. Hallelujah. Now you listen to me. Back then and even now, gold is one of the most precious metals there is, right? And Peter says, look, I am declaring, right? I'm making an honest look. At the end of the day, if you have genuine faith, it is more precious than gold. Now we got to understand something. What's the deal? Why gold? I get that it's precious, but what does that got to do with the testing and the proving? Come on in here. I know you see the gold, and some of y'all got some good. Look at Dawn. Look at y'all. Y'all got that gold on his fingers. On his fingers. And it's some precious gold, and it's good right now. But gold, when it starts out, don't look like that. That's right. There are at least 3 stages that gold has to go through. First of all, gold is mined. It's dug for, right? They take heavy artillery. It's deep, usually deep in the earth's crust. And it ain't just everywhere. Oh, yeah. Hard to get to. But it doesn't start out. As that. It starts out as ore, and it's mixed with a whole lot of stuff. It's tangled up with a whole lot of impurities and junk and stuff that ain't gold. And so the first stage that it has to go through is that it has to be crushed. Has to be crushed. They do this in a number of different ways. Not only just crushed, but crushed into fine powder. I ain't just talking about that little chip here. We can handle the little chip. Oh God. God, you piece. No, crushed. Broken down. Right? Kind of like what we talk about, like I with my band program, prime factorization. Right? The least where it can't be broken down anymore. He prime factorize your faith. Break you down. And then after the crushing stage, there is the washing stage. Put it in water, and at that point they can wash away all the dirt. All of the non-metal stuff. How many know I ain't talking about no gold? I ain't talking about no metals. I'm talking about giving your life. And sometimes it takes that for us. Sometimes we just can't get to God, and we can't get what God has for us because we're not willing to be crushed. We're not willing to stay up under the hammer. Not willing to stay in front of the chisel. Where he can chisel away some stuff. So he crushes us, then he washes us. All the non-metal, all the dirt that can be easily washed away. But that's not it. There's a third stage. This is the refining process. The toughest of them all. You put it in the furnace. And what's really cool about gold, when you put it and you heat it up, melting pot of gold is 1,948 degrees Fahrenheit. And it has to get, help me Holy Ghost, it has to get up to that temperature. In order for, and watch this, what happens is, to make it, to get 24 karat gold, there's some 10 carats, there's some 14, 16, 18, but 24 karat is the most purest of them all. In order for that to happen, the heat got to be up to 1948 degrees Fahrenheit. And what happens then is it turns into a liquid. It actually has been reformed from a solid to a liquid. And what happens then is that it's only then that all the impurities rise to the top. And at that point, the refiner can swoop off. It's only at that point. Only at that point can he swoop off all the impurities. Preach that. All I'm telling you, stay in the fire. I know it's hot. Peter knows it's hot. He's talking to folk that are in this mess right now. And he said, stay in the fire. Your faith is more precious than gold. Talking to anybody. I gotta go. This is it. He goes on and said, look, and what's crazy about y'all's faith, Peter talking to these folk that are scattered throughout the Roman Empire, what's crazy about y'all's faith, y'all ain't even seen. Yet you love it. You ain't never seen him. Yet you love him. God, this is what he said. Look, you're not just phileo loving him. You're not eros. You're not just feeling a funny thing you never said before. You love him. Oh yeah. You agape. You one of these. Look, this I ain't got no plan B. Yeah. You love him and you ain't even seen him. Not only that, you in this mess still, and you still ain't seen him. Yet you still believe. Yeah. This is the tough part. Are y'all listening to me? Yeah. This is the tough part. I've shared this before. Here's Lewis. Ain't even in my notes. I believe God is leading me here. Somebody need to hear this. Somebody is right here at this very moment. C.S. Lewis wrote this book, a small book called The Screw Tape Letters. And in this little book, really interesting, this guy had a talk about an imagination ordained and given by God. He wrote these series of letters. It was a guy named this uncle. And his name was Uncle. He was a higher ranking demon. He was writing to this lower ranking demon named Wormwood. And as he was writing to him, he was what he was doing is he was writing, encouraging him to keep at or keep pursuing his patients, which were believers or folk that were trying to become on the way of possibly becoming believers. And so he'd write a series of letters. Look, let them feel comfortable in church. Let them feel like they done checked the box. Let them encourage them to clap their hands so they feel like they saved even though they're not. These are the letters that he wrote to them. And in one of them, he says, look, this is what I want you to do, Wormwood. Don't be discouraged about you got some patience, and then you got some for real patience. There's a certain group of them. Ain't too many of them. But it's a certain group of them you got to be weary. All right, I'm here to encourage you, Wormwood. I'm here to encourage you. There's some that when they look out on the landscape of life and they don't see God anyway, they ain't heard from him in a long time, and yet they still believe. They're the ones you got to be afraid of. Them kamikaze Christians. You won't feel him. He has not delivered your family. You watched them be murdered and have the Romans mock, laugh in your face. You've seen atrocious things, and you still what? Killing me. Kamikaze. He says, look, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. You doing all this so that you can receive. I like the way that the word's used. It's a present participle. What my English folk at? Constant action. The process of doing. So it says you are receiving the end of your faith, the salvation of your souls. This idea of receiving is a deal where, since it's a present participle, it's ongoing, it has to be that look, I ain't just being saved once. I got to be saved a whole lot of times. Come on in here. You're wondering why is life closing in on you? Why all of this fight? Why all of this struggle? Why I got to go through it all the time? God is doing the assessment. God is wanting to make and bring into fruition His vision for your life. God's got a vision in your life. I know the plans I have for you. That's not to harm you. I got plans for you. He knows it. And so in order for you to get there, you can't run from the fire.
Amen.
Because God is working. He set up His construction site. He's mobilized. The equipment is there. You're either going to stay there or you're going to hightail it out of there. Which one are you going to do? And all God's people say it. Amen. Come on, all